If travel is important to you, if you've been wanting to travel but you haven't gotten around to it, if you can't figure out how to make your travel dreams a reality, this video is for you. If travel is not important to you, if you don't really want to travel, this is not for you. We can save your time. Click off of this. This is not going to resonate with you. But if you do want to travel and you haven't been able to figure out how, or you have been saying for years, I want to go to Italy, I want to see the Eiffel Tower in person, I want to whatever, and you haven't made any of those wants happen, keep watching. So my name is Mia. I am a filmmaker based in New York and Los Angeles, and I love traveling and encouraging other people to live their travel dreams, especially my fellow Black people. So this video, I really just wanted to hop on and have a chat. So I think it is extremely important to decide to travel. I spent years of my childhood, of my young adulthood, listening to different family members say that they want to go to Italy, for instance. My entire life, they've all been talking about, one day I'll make it to Italy. One day I'm going to go on this world cruise. One day I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to go and see this, and why don't we plan a group, like a family trip? Why don't we all go together? Things like that. And then I started to see these family members pass away without ever having done any of those things that they talked about really wanting to do in their lifetime. It just remained a want, something that they would do one day, and that day never came. And this isn't even a case of like, they died when they were 20. These family members did die too young, in my opinion, but they weren't 20 years old. It wasn't like some freak accident. It wasn't anything like that. It was natural causes. They just kept thinking that they had another day, another month, another year. They kept thinking that there was more time. And the thing is, why are we waiting so long to live the dreams that are so important to us? And so I'm thinking about all these things. And about 8 years ago, I decided that in 2017, I would travel internationally for an extended period of time. And so this was about 2015, I want to say, when I made this decision. Now, I didn't say this willy-nilly. I did put some research into it. I, was Googling, cheapest places to travel, travel hacks, how to travel cheaply, how to go on international trips and not, break the bank, because I needed it to be a very affordable, cheap trip. And I found out that you could go to some places where the US dollar is stronger and you can travel for longer and you can see a lot more. So I figured out where I could make my money stretch. And I said, okay, if it costs this amount of money to travel this place for this amount of time, I need to save maybe about this much, however much that was. And I thought to myself, okay, if I have 2 years to do this, I can make it happen. 2 years, okay, cool. So I set my sights for 2 years into the future. And I told everybody. It freaked my mom out, she's like, wait, who are you gonna go with? And initially I was like, okay, I'll go with my sister. But I also said, if she can't go though, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm going to do this trip regardless. I don't care what I have to sacrifice as far as my, daily lifestyle. And there wasn't much I could sacrifice. I mean, y'all, I was working for minimum wage at a job that was afraid to give us full-time hours because that meant health insurance and benefits that they did not want to give us. I was working a part-time job, minimum wage, in Los Angeles. I was not getting much money at all. Um, so this was a big decision. This is why I gave myself 2 years to save this money and figure out my life so that I could actually go and live this dream that I had. And then eventually, I think maybe a few months or a year in, I had already decided, okay, for sure it's going to be Southeast Asia. I wasn't totally sure which countries exactly or how long I would be staying, but it depended on how long I could feasibly support myself while I was gone. And I'll make another video on how exactly I saved the money and how I made that all work. But basically, I'm saying that you have to decide that you're going to go on a trip. Because if you keep saying, I want to do this, I wish I could do that, you're not going to do it. You're just not. Until you decide this is happening and it's going to happen in this time frame or it's going to happen on this date. It is so much harder to make it happen than if you say, hey, this is when I'm going to go. I'm going to go on this trip in 2017. Nothing is going to get in my way. And you start sharing that news, or you just make that promise to yourself that you're going to do this. That is when things start to get into motion and you start to actually, squirrel away your money and put it in this designated spot, and you start to really plan it out and decide how it's all going to be. And I'm going to keep this really short, but basically my point is decide that you're going to travel, make it specific, say exactly when you're going to do it, and start making your plans so that you can make other plans, like how you're going to save your money, how you're going to get that time off of work, how you're going to make it really happen. Just make a plan, make it specific, and go live your travel dreams. That's really all I want to say today. Have a great rest of your day. Check out the rest of my videos, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.